Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. I think we're live.
Yep.
Yes, we're
Go
live.
right ahead.
Hello. Welcome to what is the queerest game in the queer marathon.
Yeah, very queer game. I absolutely love it.
Do we want to introduce ourselves briefly?
Yep. So I'm Witch's Hex. I'll be playing on whichever side of the screen I'm playing on.
He's on the right.
I'm SuddenlyCassie. I'm on the left side of the screen.
And I'm Pluff27. I'm commentating this race. She, her.
All right. So before we get started, what is the winner of our bid war, Proto?
The familiar choice familiar of your choice today is Kobo.
Nice.
Kobo it
All
is.
right.
So,
Kobo is this cute little robot. Kobo's my favorite, and also technically the best one, although it doesn't really matter.
I'm very happy about this outcome.
All right. So, Cassie, you all set up and ready to go?
I am ready to go.
All right. Rose, why don't you count us down?
all right.
Rose is going to be commentating for us.
Yes. Oh, yeah. My actual name is Rose. So
Sorry, Ploff. I should.
it so does not matter. Anyway, so we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Timespinner. If you have ever been thinking, I really like Symphony of the Night, but often I've played Symphony of the Night and thought to myself, man, what would make this game better if it had time travel and better queer representation? Well, let me tell you a thing. Timespinner is exactly that, and it's really, really good. And I would highly recommend it. So with the category we're doing is New Game Plus All Glitches. All Glitches mostly means that we'll be allowed to do a couple clips at a few places. And New Game Plus is New Game Plus. We keep one important key item, which is the speed skates, and then you also keep all your orbs and abilities. So we saw right there, our runners just used the light wall ability to get past a thing that you normally need the double jump for, and you basically just unlock a warp point early is what they're doing because we're going to be coming back there. In a different route of the game, you can get the B key card there, but we're not doing that today because it's actually slower if you're good at clipping. This run goes by really quickly, so I'm going to talk real fast. We saw Cassie just got the Timespinner wheel. This is an item which allows you to stop time selectively. When time is stopped, enemies do not hurt you, and you can use them as platforms, like Cassie just did there, as well as a couple other things happen when time is stopped. So that's sort of the main mechanics of the run. As for the New Game Plus category, you keep the speed skates, but you keep no other key items, just your orbs and your costumes. The orbs are the little floating things we see around our two characters right now. They are your main source of damage. There are a couple different orb loadouts that we're going to be using. Cassie is currently doing a wall clip. This goes by so quickly. So essentially, you make a... There we go. Hex just got it. Looks like. Yeah. You make a light wall up against the side of the room, and you get yourself stuck underneath it. The game wants to push you out, so it pushes you out of bounds. And if you fall off the bottom of a screen, you will return back to the top. And here, Hex just defeated the first boss in the game. This is New Game Plus. All our orbs are really, really high level, so bosses are going to get destroyed really, really quickly. I think both of our runners are using primarily the gun orbs for damage, which is like the only hit scan weapon in the game. And then there are also the golden orbs, which we use for the light wall ability, and then the plasma and eye orbs, I think. Yeah. The eye orbs are also good damage because they hit lots of times, and the plasma orbs have a lot of range and can hit above you quite easily because they auto-target. As for the difficulty, because I did want to mention that briefly, we are playing on Nightmare level 255. So there are a whole bunch of different difficulties. Nightmare is the hardest difficulty. Normally your level is capped at 100, but in Nightmare 255, your level is capped at 255. Here we've come up to our first library gate in present-day Lachim, and our runners both just clip through it right away. It's a lot of very similar clips with very slightly different setups, mostly involving abusing light wall to get stuck inside of stuff that we're going to be seeing here. Anyway, back to Nightmare 255. The reason we play on level 255 is just because it's higher than 100, and so you can tread bosses a little bit more easily. Unfortunately, Hex messed up the light wall placement there. The height and x-axis position is quite precise, so it's not uncommon for these to take a couple of tries. And also, this keycard door has a text box right in front of it that says that you need to get the B key card, which we don't because who needs that? But it's annoying because you have to press A through the text box when you're trying to clip. There we go. Cassie just got the clip, putting her in a slight lead. Currently, our runners are going through present-day Lachame, which is the name of the area, to get the Timespinner spindle. The Timespinner is this big artifact thing that you can use to go back in time, essentially to warn people about things. And here we have a stair clip. It's similar stuff. You can do these on literally any staircase, and you just go through the stairs. And so the Timespinner you can use to go back in time, and it broke. And now we're trying to prevent the Lachame Empire from putting it back together, and there it is. And now we get to fight another boss, and now it's dead. Don't worry about it. I would put Cassie at somewhere around, I'd say 10 seconds ahead right now. But now that we have the Timespinner spindle, we can go activate the Timespinner, go back in time, and do what we actually intended to do, which is warn our tribe about the Lachame attacking. Because they attacked us, and it was not good. Unfortunately, because we don't have the right calibration gears, things are going to mess up in a real big way, and then we're going to get stuck in the past, and then we're going to get these things that let us transfer between the past and the future. And then we'll be running around killing bosses until we can eventually go kill the final boss. Right now, we see Cassie making the clip through the A key card door. Very nice. The reason we come into here, normally you can't get the A key card until the very end of the game, but we do it so we can pick up the Timespinner gear. You need to collect the 3 Timespinner gears in order to get the good ending, where you go back in time, defeat either Volteris or the other guy that I can't remember the name of, and then you fight the Sandman and Nightmare and become the Queen of Time. Spoilers. I think I've explained most of the things. I don't think there's anything I've missed.
Yeah, I think you've covered things really well.
I'm good at talking fast. So right now we're heading to the Timespinner itself. Cassie is a little bit ahead. Hex is currently clipping into the elevator to get up. There's an elevator keycard that normally you're supposed to get, but we don't have time for that, so we just clip through. Cassie has gotten the Timespinner activated and is now stuck in the past, where we're going to meet some of our other wonderful characters, except not because this is a speedrun and we ain't got time for that. And then, in the past, what we want to do, there are 3 major bosses that we need to fight. The Succubus, the Queen, and the other one, which I can't remember. What's the last one?
The Maw.
The door.
Thank you. Yeah, the Maw. Thank you. Essentially, these are 3 things that make the future Lachame Empire a lot stronger, and after defeating each one, it's going to take a big barrier light wall off of a big door that we can't get past. And you can't clip through it, because I think the next area just doesn't load until the 3 things in the past have been defeated. And then, after we defeat those, we can open the Shrine of Winter, enter Turian, and fight the Hollow Knight, because so many games have you kill a bunch of bosses and then go to a place. Although actually, in the final area, we're going to be doing a couple interesting things, but we're not there yet. So Hex has just arrived in the past. Currently, Cassie is beelining to the big bird guy, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Cassie here is going to use this little bird to make that jump there. I think Hex is actually going to be doing a light wall in that section. Lots of little minor differences in movement and how these players like to play. Also, the reason New Game Plus is a wonderful category is because you start with the speed skates, which let you move really fast. If you don't have the speed skates, you have to do backdash movement. It's really finicky and hard. You do it for like the whole game. Is like the one reason that I don't want to run any % of this game.
Yeah, it sounds painful on my thumb.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I tried.
As we saw, the giant bird actually took 2 hits to kill instead of only 1, so, you know, stuff's getting a lot tougher. It's getting real hard here. Now we picked up the Twin Pyramid Key and met the Succubus and Incubus, which we'll be fighting next. The Twin Pyramid Key allows us to transfer between different warp points and through time freely. which is super useful. Normally you have to do a whole bunch of swapping back and forth between present day and the past, picking up key items. There's a water breathing mask and a double jump and some other stuff. I think we are going to be getting the double jump just because it's really easy. But I might...
Oh, and it's essential to continue on. Without it, you can't get to a few places.
Technically, you don't need it with the light wall, but you have to beat the boss right next to it.
Yeah.
And also, it's a lot faster than putting light walls everywhere anyway.
Yes, the succubus hairpin. It shows up right after the succubus fight, so you don't lose any time in just picking it up. It makes it a lot easier because, yeah, you don't have to light wall everywhere. Very important, jump over that arrow. Cassie is coming up to the castle level because Soten, and the boss for the castle is, or like the mid-boss for the castle is the succubus, and then you go fight the queen at the top of the castle. Hex is coming to the castle right now. I think I'd put Cassie like, 20 seconds-ish ahead. I haven't been counting super carefully.
Yeah, I felt a few of the clips.
Yeah,
there is still
trouble early on.
there is still plenty of time to lose or make up in this run. There are more clips still yet to come. And also just lots of little movement things. You know, you want to be moving all the time if you can be. You don't want to bonk on things, but movement can be really tricky. Take it from me, someone that runs a lot of movement platformers. Well, one. Yeah, so Hex is just entering the castle now. Cassie should be coming up on Succubus pretty soon if I'm remembering the map correctly. Wait, is Priest Jump coming up? I'm pretty sure Priest Jump is coming up. Yeah, Priest Jump! There we go. Cassie just did Priest Jump, the hardest trick in the game. It's where you jump on top of a priest. It's great. I love it. I don't care if that's a thing, I'm making it a thing.
Well,
It can be a thing.
Hell yeah. Or heck yeah, PG-13. So the succubus fight is kind of terrifying with a big old Mephistopheles head, but it also dies in like one hit, so don't worry about it. That is the first of the 3 Golden 4 bosses. Pick up the succubus hairpins, that way we can double jump, and then we move on. Next, we're going to be fighting the queen at the top of the castle. She's the current queen of Lechame. There's like a whole bunch of story that you can find out if you play the vanilla game, which I would highly recommend. I played through it in like 2 days because it was so fun, and I just couldn't stop, and I didn't get any work done, but it's fine. And the story is really, really good, and there's lots of different endings that you can get.
Also, 100% the game. Like,
yes, absolutely.
I don't say that about a
100%.
lot of games that you need to 100%, but you need to 100% this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get all the side quests. It's so worth it.
Yeah. I still have to actually go back and do that soon. So the tower ascent that Cassie is currently doing, you normally have to do a lot of time platforming and go back and forth between these 2 main upper shafts. But with light wall and good double jumps, it's really not too hard to make it up there quickly, and you can save a whole lot of time. Thank you, New Game Plus. Oh, also Cassie defeated the succubus when I wasn't paying attention, and is now on her way out of here. So this is the queen boss, and now it's gone. She's a huge pain and is kind of miserable in most of the other categories because she flies around a whole bunch, and there's certain times and places where you just can't hit her, or very difficult to, or you can't hit her, and it's a mess. But in New Game Plus, you just kill her instantly, and it doesn't matter. Hex should be coming up on that boss pretty soon, doing the tower ascent herself right now, while Cassie is heading down to deal with the final of the Maw. The Maw of Asmodeus is like a whole thing. It blocks the gateway between this world and another world, and plot and story, and it's real big and spooky looking. But because the bosses are pretty easy in this category, it's not a big deal. And even in any percent, Maw of Asmodeus is really easy because there's a magic pixel where it just can't hit you. Also, Cassie's going to be doing a floor clip coming up. Normally there's an elevator that is supposed to take you out of this area, but we'll be going down it instead, clipping.
Yeah, that clip
Pretty
Cassie's about
precise.
to do is the hardest clip in the game because you need
Yeah.
to follow it up with a dash. And if you clip the wrong way, your time there's two different ways you might end up clipping through, and if you clip the wrong way, you need to jump. But if you clip the right way, then you need to not jump, and you have very little time to tell if you clipped the right or the wrong way.
Yeah, it's very precise, and this is one of those points where the lead could quite easily swap, as Cassie is still working on this clip, and Hex is coming up to it now. There we go. Cassie got the clip. Very nice. Very good. And is heading down to that one.
First try, let's go.
Nice.
Yo, nice. These runners are actually quite close now. We're back to somewhere around a 10-second disparity. Oh yeah, there is actually a little bit of RNG in this fight, because there is a move that Maw can do where it makes a bunch of spikes on the ground, and then you have to wait for the spikes to despawn when you kill it. But neither of our runners got it, so that's good. And now the way is clear, and we can enter the laboratory in present-day Lechame. But first, we're going to be going down into sealed caves. This is why we picked up this warp point earlier. Normally, this is another area that you can't get until the end game when you have the key card, but we don't need to care about that because we can just click through. We're going to be fighting the bird jerk. We have a less nice name for that guy, but he's a jerk. At any percent, he's an absolute nightmare and is easily the hardest boss in the game.
Oh, by
it
a
should
wide
not be.
margin.
Should not be a problem for these runners, especially in this category. Oh my god, it's such a jerk. It took me so many tries.
Yeah, that was nothing but trouble.
So I tried to do an any percent run on launch day before any of the tricks were found, or 100% or true ending on launch day, and I had to give up. Oh hey, I got a very, very rare thing to occur live in the marathon.
Nice.
That's cool. I got the ghost girl to spawn.
Nice.
That has very low odds of happening. She drops some very powerful upgrade items, which we don't care about, but she's an extremely rare spawn.
I'm having trouble telling who's ahead because all these rooms look the same. But I'm pretty sure Hex actually pulled out the lead with the clip coming into this area by a few seconds. Yeah, Hex is in the lead now. Oh yeah, this is when we start using the big hammer instead of the orbs, because the big hammer does a lot of damage. It's one of the mana-consuming abilities that you can pick up. Then we pick up the second of 3 Timespinner gears. I know in runs, people have defeated the boss and then warped out before remembering to pick up the Timespinner gear.
Next time, just at me.
I wasn't gonna say it. And now we are entering the laboratory where we can fight Not Mom and then go get the last gear and go beat Volteris and or the other guy that I can't remember the name of.
Prince
Nubius?
Or
Nubius.
Emperor
Thank you.
Nubius. Well,
Emperor
I think
Nubius.
he's Prince Nubius in the
Yeah,
in the
he's still
past.
Prince in the past when you fight him. The 2 final boss fights are literally the same. They're just a palette swap of each other. One of them is the Emperor of present-day Lechame, and the other is the Emperor of past Lechame. And they're both kind of jerks. Or no, Volteris isn't the Emperor of Lechame. He's the Emperor of the other one that's bullied. Whatever. Plot. Point is, they're the same. So now Hex is coming up on the very difficult energy wall clips. These are a lot like the other wall clips, except if you touch the wall, it hurts you and knocks you back. So you just have to be a little more careful with your movement. And also the lineup for it is weird because the walls are thin. Oh, nice. Cassie doing the any percent method, where instead of using light wall, you can do some funky stuff where you get stuck in the floor and then stuck in the ceiling and then jump over it. I think the any percent is very slightly faster, but not by much. And a lot of it kind of just comes down to preference for those. I know Hex is more comfortable doing the light wall clips.
Yeah, I can't get the other ones at all.
Yeah. Both of our runners are tied up pretty much going through this door. Hex gets it just a little bit quicker. This is where we pick up Timespinner gear number 3.
So normally you wouldn't be able to warp out here because you would have triggered a cutscene that you basically would have picked up an item that disables all the lasers that also prevents you from warping, but we don't have to deal with that because we skip that by clipping through the lasers, so we can just warp shard out.
Yes, the normal path through this is where you actually get the eye orbs and it depowers the whole facility, and that's how you're supposed to get through these orange walls. But who needs that? We have clipping. It also makes some of these rooms a lot easier because after the lab has been depowered, there's a whole bunch of like aberration enemies that spawn because they get out of their glass tubes. But now, because it's all still powered, they just don't spawn. See, they're all in their tubes, nice and safe on Hexa's screen. So you just run past everything, and it's not a big deal. Runners are very close to each other right now, with Hex entering the not mom fight. We call her not mom because she looks like your mom, but she's not. And then drops the A key card, which we're not going to pick up because we don't need it. Leave the room, re-enter, and now Hex is on to fighting Voltaris. And Cassie right behind, entering the Nuvius fight.
The two fights are the same. We talked before the race and decided to do different ones for funsies.
Yes. So because of all your time shenanigans, the Sandman, the Lord of Time, is really upset at you. So after you kill the person in the past, the Sandman yells at you and calls you a bad girl, and then you go fight and kill him, and then you become the Lord of Time. So here we're in the actual final area. You can only get here if you've collected all the Timespinner pieces. Otherwise, you can only just take revenge on Nuvius in the present, because you can't activate the Timespinner to go kill the guys in the past.
Yeah, there's a little extra area for where Nuvius is, but
yeah,
this area is more exciting.
If you kill present-day Nuvius, then you get the fist orbs, which are actually really cool and just make giant fists, and it's great. And you punch things. I like the fist orbs. So sick. Here, Hex is going to be doing a stair clip to get to the top of this room faster. That's literally why we do it. Because if you fall through the bottom, you come to the top, and then you don't have to platform up there. And if you had a first try, it's quite a bit faster. And also, like, it just looks real cool.
Yeah, it's faster if you can get it, like, the first 3 tries. Okay, need to pay attention and not have to do the clip of shame.
Yeah, so there's a room here that you're supposed to fall down, which is where you pick up the super dash, that dashes you up, but you can make it across with light wall without having to worry about any of that junk, unless you forget, in which case you have to do the clip of shame at the bottom of the room. And Cassie unfortunately messing it up and falling all the way down. You can light wall climb all the way back up, but it's much easier and faster to just do the clip of shame on the stairs down here.
Yeah, I'm so bad at that to my knowledge, I'm the one who discovered the clip of shame. I didn't this time, but I almost always fail that.
It's easy because you're just blowing through all these rooms. It's easy to just forget about the fact that you have to jump and then to a light wall in that room. And also the...
Our time's coming up for me.
Yeah. This is the final 2 bosses. We're fighting Sandman, and then we're going to fight Nightmare, which is the big skeletal thing. And Hex will call time when it's
time. That's actually PB for me.
Nice. Yeah, that was a very good run. Cassie is still doing clip of shame, and then she'll be on to the Sandman fight herself.
We'll let the credits play on my end.
Yeah, you get to nice time cutscenes. There we go. Cassie clips out of the really, really tall room. Also, shouts to Mayef, who is the default familiar and is real cute. It's a tiny little willow dragon and is real cute.
I actually have a costume on Mayef that turns him blue. He's usually green.
All the familiars are really, really adorable. Although Crow is best waifu, don't at me.
I like Kobo, and I'm glad that our donators agreed.
Yes, Kobo is also very good. Time coming up on SuddenlyCassie as well.
And time.
Nice race, Cassie.
Race. Nice PB.
Very good. As a very close race, lots of lead changes, and also a really, really, really good game. Seriously, go buy this game. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so queer. I cannot recommend this game enough.
Okay, so literally every character but the main character's parents are confirmed queer.
Yeah, and the main character's parents, we just don't know. They might be, but we don't know. It's great.
Anyway, thanks for watching this. Keep watching. We got some really cool stuff coming up, and keep donating because this is a really, really good cause.
Yeah, such a great cause.
I'm done.
Okay, we seem to be off the air.
Yeah, looks like